What a fabulously busy morning we've had here on Morning Live. I hope you've enjoyed the diversity of content that we've been showing you today, and it's going to continue. So let's talk about the next thing that I know I feel very passionate about, and that, of course, is theatre. Tuesday until Sunday, the Market Theatre will present 6 characters in search of an author. It is a play written by Luigi Pirandello and made possible by the Department of Arts and Culture. Pirandello was a prolific Italian dramatist, novelist, poet, and short story writer who was awarded the 1934 Nobel Prize in Literature, and his works include hundreds of short stories and about 40 plays, some of which were written in Sicilian. Now, this staging will form part of the Market Theatre's celebration of 40 years of existence. Sibusisio Mamba adapted and directed the play, and he joins us now. So nice to see you.
Nice to be here.
Yeah,
thanks for having me.
Good. I'm so glad. Okay, first and foremost, and I think it's only, I can only ask you this question.
Yeah.
Why this particular play? What really appeals you to Pirandello's work?
I think I first encountered Pirandello when I was in high school. I went to high school at Waterford in Swaziland.
Yeah.
And I think I was just struck by the strangeness of it, the strangeness of this play in particular, where 6 characters who were created by an author who didn't complete their story turn up to a group of people and say they're looking for an author who will complete their story. I think that just stayed with me for years. And after many conversations with James and Goldwell, we were trying to find a classic to do. I went to train in the UK and classically trained, experienced Shakespeare, experienced the European playwrights, Molière, and just trying to find a classic. And we both kind of came to this one as a play that has been a favorite of ours for different reasons.
Yeah.
And then when I went deeper into the play, before we actually decided or realized that we could do it, when I went deeper into the play, I realized that it's a story of a family that is trying to heal from a tragedy that happens, and they can't quite find the healing. And even when they do find people who might, and even if they could find an author who could write their story, they can't quite agree on the version of events. Everybody's saying, this is how it happened, and this is how it happened. No, my perspective is right. And because of that, they're forced to relive this tragedy over and over and over. And I live between South Africa and the UK, and I look at home, and I look at the way that sometimes I worry that because of the way we sometimes don't listen to each other.
Yeah.
There's so much that's going on in the country right now. There's so many things that young people are trying to say in some constructive and some destructive ways. And I just wonder whether if we learn to listen to each other in a different way, now that the country's 22 years old, could we possibly find a way to a different future?
Yeah.
And I think this play kind of asks that question in many, many ways. But because it's an Italian family from the 1920s, we can look at them from a slight distance and judge them perhaps, but maybe also learn something.
And adapt adapt it to our day and age.
Absolutely.
Now, I've been reading, and it's saying that the Market Theatre called this a groundbreaking piece of theatre that's really going to be pushing theatrical boundaries. Why? I mean, this is intriguing to say the least. How's that for pressure? But what makes you, what makes you think they see it this way?
I think in the way that we're trying to stage it, and the way that the adaptation has come about. In 1921, when this was first performed in Rome, it was absolutely groundbreaking in positive ways and negative ways, because some people just did not understand what this man was trying to do.
Yeah.
And some people really thought this was a new wave, and it really did. It opened up a whole new era of theatre. What we now see as the Becketts and even the French playwrights, and we see as absurdist theatre, wasn't quite around at the time this happened. So I think the vision that we are trying to create with this show is to try and find a way to give the audience the experience that the 1921 Italian audience would have experienced.
Yeah.
So we're pulling out all the stops. We're pulling out all the stops to give the audience an experience of in the theatre that I hope that many of them might not have had before.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we're taking a lot of risks.
I can see that. Listen,
yes.
one risk is the previous photo. We've got a
Yes.
photo now, a beautiful photo, I imagine, you know, of the cast
Yes.
and
Yes,
everybody
yes, yes,
together
I can see
there.
them, yeah.
But there was another picture just before this, and I'm
Yeah.
going to see if we can maybe bring it up. What is
Yeah.
up there now? Who's this headless baby? I'm a little bit concerned about the headless baby in the picture.
So
obviously this has got to do with the characters,
Sure. So when Pirandello created these characters, because these characters actually haunted him. He created them years before he put them in this play. He was going to put them in a novel because he wrote many novels, and he just didn't quite figure out where they could go.
Yeah.
But one of the things that he says in an introduction to the play, or actually it's more like a telling the critics to leave him alone. This is what he intended. And he says that he created this family, and this family had these 2 children who had died, and he was now trying to find a way that this family, while they are looking for an author, could they maybe find someone to write a story for them where the children don't have to die. And so as we are playing around with how we present the children, this is one of the possibilities that we found. I don't know if this is what will be when the audience come in, if they'll still have no heads, but we will see.
You'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
You'll see what
so this is
what
one of the ways that we're telling the story, that from the very moment you see these children, you know what their possible future is going to be.
Amazing.
But because this family is appearing to a theatre company that is in South Africa, in Johannesburg in 2016. So the play is happening on the day that you see the play. That will be the day in the theatre.
The day in the theatre that it is happening.
Exactly,
so there's no past in there.
Yeah.
This is your directorial debut.
At the market.
At the market.
In South Africa.
In South Africa.
Yeah.
This is pressure.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you told me this was pressure beforehand because of how it's been described. But I mean, now we're talking serious pressure now as well, because an audience is watching this, watching your debut here in South Africa. How are you feeling though? There must be a sense of excitement.
There's an incredible
Has there been a
excitement.
preview as yet?
Not yet. So we start on the 28th. So Tuesday, a week tomorrow.
All right,
is our
so it'll be
first
Tuesday.
preview. Yeah. I you know, the pressure I was feeling it a lot, maybe a couple of months ago, until I kind of came together with this incredible cast, an incredible team of designers and the production team. And it's an amazing opportunity by the Market Theatre. You know, I think, and I know that because of having this incubation project that the Department of Arts and Culture has created, we are now able to open up a classic to young people. We have a lot of young people, young design, what they call them incubatees, who are in this project. So basically, I have an amazing team of people who are on this road to this crazy vision with me.
Amazing.
So the pressure, I feel like now has been spread out among all of us.
Okay,
so I don't feel it so much
pressure
on my shoulders. I feel like we have an amazing team.
Just finally, as we wrap this up, and we haven't even spoken about the cast, who is in this play?
So we have Desmond Dube is playing the director of the theatre company that the family appear to. David Butler is playing the father in the family. Sandy Schultz in the picture, you can see Sandy Schultz, and Chantal Stanfield is playing the stepdaughter. Lebogang Ino is playing the son, and we have Kate Normington, who's in the acting company, and Pumi Mkai, and Anelis Tulweni, and Hunsen Chechang, and Rebecca Ledwaba. And it's a combination of young people and very experienced people. And it's an amazing cast. And then we have a young student from the lab as well, two, Dimpo and Alex, who are experiencing Pirandello for the first time.
Well done. Sibusisio, thank you for talking to us. Sibusisio Mamba, he's the director of 6 Characters in Search of an Author. It's a production that's going to be on at the Market Theatre. It's going to be starting, so this is next week.
Tuesday.
Next week, Tuesday, up until Sunday.
24th of July.
Got to book your tickets and go and see this groundbreaking theatre, as the Market Theatre has described this. So thanks again for being with us here in
Thank you very much
studio.
for having me.
It's a pleasure. All right, we say goodbye.